I despise mock drafts. I absolutely hate mock drafts, but I did one anyways for you guys. You guys asked for it. I wanted to deliver. I wanted to give the good people what they want. It was a mock draft I did earlier with what I hope happens. These are the things I wanted to happen, the storylines I desired. It was interesting. It was fun. I liked it. I hope you did too. However, I can't imagine very much of that actually happening. I don't believe the Buccaneers would pass on Saquon Barkley. I don't believe the Patriots are actually going to trade up for Sam Darnold, although I would absolutely love that. I don't think that's going to happen. And here's the thing. If the Browns trade away either of their first picks, if they trade away the first pick, if they trade away the fourth pick, I'm going to be bummed. I don't, not even bummed. I would just be shocked. I'd be surprised. I think that would be a very stupid thing for the Browns to do. I believe giving up a top pick, giving the Patriots Sam Darnold would be a huge, huge mistake for the Cleveland Browns. Remember, the Cleveland Browns could have drafted Carson Wentz and they traded away from that position. So I never want to see the Browns make a mistake like that again. Here is mock draft number 2. Mock draft number 2 is a little bit more realistic. It's a lot better for the Browns, I believe. So with my number 1 overall pick, I have the Cleveland Browns drafting Sam Darnold. It makes people angry. I understand everybody hates Sam Darnold. Look, I've done a lot of research. Sam Darnold is the best quarterback in this draft. I believe that. I think you cannot pass on a franchise quarterback. But even if it's Josh Rosen or Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, whoever it is, the Browns had better walk away from the number 1 overall pick with a quarterback. If they don't get a quarterback, that's a huge, massive mistake. The Browns have not drafted a quarterback number 1 overall. In fact, I don't think they've drafted a quarterback in the top 10 since they drafted. I could be wrong on that. I don't actually know, but I believe they haven't done that since they drafted Kim Couch with the number 1 overall pick when they were an expansion team. That's sad. The Browns must walk away with a quarterback after the number 1 overall pick. With the second overall pick, I believe with the number 2 overall pick, the Giants are going to draft Josh Rosen. I know a report went out today that, the Giants they're concerned if the Browns draft Sam Darnold, the Browns are not going to draft Josh Rosen. The Giants don't like Josh Rosen. I don't buy it at all. I am not buying that the Giants do not like Josh Rosen. I just do not believe that report. I know it was reported. I know people are saying, the Giants don't like Josh Rosen. They only want Sam Darnold. My belief is the Giants are putting that out there so that the Browns draft Sam Darnold and not Josh Rosen. I think the Giants actually want Josh Rosen. They're trying to manipulate the whole system so they get Josh Rosen and the Browns do not take him. There is no way. I cannot imagine a scenario where the Giants do not draft a quarterback number 2 overall, especially if Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen falls into their lap. Eli Manning's 37 years old, and he won 3 games last year. It is time. It is time for the Giants to move on from Eli Manning. I have the Giants picking a quarterback with the number 2 overall pick. Now, with the 3rd overall pick, the Jets. What are the Jets going to do? Because in my scenario, you have Josh Allen available and you have Baker Mayfield available. I believe the Jets are going to choose Baker Mayfield. First of all, the Jets did not move up to the 3rd overall pick to draft anybody but a quarterback. They're going to get a quarterback. And long term, Josh Allen could be better for the Jets. Josh Allen has a bigger arm. He's stronger. He's a little quieter in a more mature way. He's not loud and boisterous. But I believe the Jets are impatient. They want a guy who can start day 1. Baker Mayfield's ready to play now. Josh Allen needs more time. He needs time to sit on the bench and learn. I think we're going to see the Jets go out and pick Baker Mayfield with a 3rd overall pick. Now, with the 4th overall pick, I believe the Browns will draft Bradley Chubb. This may not happen. They could draft Saquon Barkley, but maybe it's wishful thinking. I want the Browns to draft Bradley Chubb with the 4th overall pick. Everybody's saying the Browns are okay at defensive end. They don't need a defensive end. That's idiotic. You always, if you have an opportunity to not have just 1, but 2 elite defensive ends on your roster, you take it in a heartbeat. Imagine if the Browns walk away from this NFL draft with a franchise quarterback and now would have 2 elite pass rushers on their team. To have Bradley Chubb on one side, Myles Garrett on the other, that is unbelievable. I would feel terrible for Ben Roethlisberger, Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco. Any quarterback that plays in the AFC North will be running for his life because the Browns will now suddenly have the scariest pass rush in the entire NFL. I truly believe that. I hope and I believe the Browns would pick Bradley Chubb. I could be wrong, but that's what I want to happen. Maybe that pick could be wishful thinking, but that is what I want to happen. With the 5th overall pick, I believe the Broncos select Josh Allen. Josh Allen went to Wyoming. He's a local guy in the Colorado area. I know Wyoming and Colorado are not the same, but they share a lot of the same fans. Many Bronco fans look at Josh Allen and they see a hero because he's the hero of their state in Wyoming. And the Broncos have a structure in place that would allow Josh Allen to succeed. They have Case Keenum already there. There's no pressure. There's no rush. Josh Allen can sit. He can wait. He can learn. And Josh Allen could be successful in a couple of years when he would take the field in Denver. Here's why I really like Josh Allen in Denver. It gets cold up there. It's blisteringly cold. Josh Allen has an arm built for the weather in Denver. That cold, snowy weather. Josh Allen is made to succeed in a place like Denver. Again, the key to the Broncos is that they do not need Josh Allen to play right away. They can afford to let Josh Allen sit on the bench and learn how to play quarterback from a guy like Case Keenum. With the 6th overall pick, the Colts are going to shock everybody. Everybody's saying, if Saquon Barkley's available, there's no way the Colts would pass on him. I think if Bradley Chubb's available, the Colts would draft Bradley Chubb. But if it came down to Quentin Nelson or Saquon Barkley, I believe and I hope that the Indianapolis Colts would draft Quentin Nelson, the guard from Notre Dame. What is the biggest problem with the Colts? Their offensive line is awful. They are terrible. They possibly ruined Andrew Luck's career, who's still not throwing a football. The Colts, please, dear God, I believe they do, and I hope they do, draft Quentin Nelson, bring some kind of help Andrew Luck at the offensive line position. You don't need a running back. You can get a running back later in the draft. I believe that the Colts would draft Quentin Nelson rather than Saquon Barkley simply because they hopefully have learned their lesson. You cannot put Andrew Luck out there without some dudes on the offensive line that know what they are doing. You can find a running back later in the draft. It's a running back rich draft. The Colts will be fine if they don't draft Saquon Barkley. And with the 7th overall pick, this is where I believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would pull the trigger. They can't sit on Saquon Barkley. Whether they need Saquon Barkley or not, the realistic thing to believe is that if the Buccaneers had a chance to draft Saquon Barkley, they would pull the trigger and take that in a heartbeat. 100%. Doesn't matter. Jameis Winston's going to have a new weapon. They could not pass up Saquon Barkley with the 7th overall pick. With the 8th overall pick, I believe the Bears would draft Calvin Ridley. The Bears hired the Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy to be their head coach. They brought in the former Ducks head coach Mark Helfrich to be their offensive coordinator. The Bears are doing everything they can to allow Mitch Trubisky to succeed. That is what they are doing. They want to give Mitch Trubisky the opportunity to do well in the NFL. That is why I believe the Bears would go out and draft Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver from Alabama. They want to give Mitch Trubisky a receiver who will last and be a good guy for a long, long time. That is why I believe the Bears, if given the opportunity, if Saquon Barkley's gone, the Bears would draft Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver from Alabama. Again, if Quentin Nelson's gone and Saquon Barkley's gone, the Bears are gonna draft offense. The Bears are gonna pick a guy who they can use to support their young quarterback, Mitch Trubisky. The 49ers with the 9th overall pick, I believe they're going to pick Tremaine Edmonds. I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you have a top 10 pick and you're not picking a quarterback, you must pick a guy you can insert into your roster and play right away. I believe Tremaine Edmonds is that guy for the 49ers. I like him over Roquan Smith, although it's really kind of a toss-up. Either one, Roquan Smith or Tremaine Edmunds, is a guy the 49ers can and should draft because they want a guy they can insert into their lineup right away. I like Tremaine Edmunds because he's a bigger athlete. So that leaves us with the Raiders. The Raiders are interesting because in this mock draft right now, Denzel Ward is available and Minkah Fitzpatrick is available. I believe that the Raiders would go with Denzel Ward. I honestly don't know. It's really a toss-up. If both of them are available, they're going to take either one. The thing is, the Raiders must make their pass defense better. Either Denzel Ward or Minkah Fitzpatrick would do that. Minkah Fitzpatrick can play all over the field wherever you want. That is what I think will happen. Either Denzel Ward or Minkah Fitzpatrick is who the Raiders will walk away with. And that concludes my more realistic version of the NFL mock draft. That's what I believe will happen. Who knows? It's all for fun. I'm going to be dead wrong. We're going to see on draft day some crazy stuff's going to happen. The Cowboys are going to trade up 100 picks and go get Sam Darnold. I don't know. But it's interesting. I hopefully that at least made you think. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this show as much as I do, help me grow by telling your friends about this show. That's a crime. It rhymes. I know. Move on. Share with your friends on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow by telling your friends. And if you really like this podcast, subscribe to it on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube.